Hi, I'm Carmen, and this is the Miscellaneous Vegan, where I share a little R&R recipes and reviews. And as you can see from the video, today we're going to be learning how to make this chickpea Belgian waffles with your daily serving of fruits. And as you can see, they look really delicious, and they are really delicious that they're so great. The plates are going to be disappearing off your counter, as you may see here in this video. So let's get into it. And if you haven't done so yet, make sure you like and subscribe for recipes and reviews in New York City and around the world. So let's begin with the ingredients you will need. You will need chickpea flour, and this is the brand that I use. I used to make it with regular flour, but I changed the recipe. You will need baking powder, also salt. You can use any type of salt that you have. You will need vegan milk, and this milk I made it with my nutter machine. If you haven't seen that video, I will link it below. Apple cider vinegar, vanilla extract, and maple syrup. You can also add any spices like cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves, but that's optional. If you want to do that, then get that spice out and put it on your counter. So I want you guys to join me as I'm making this. So make sure you got all your ingredients. Now we're going to get to the materials. You're going to need 2 bowls, and these bowls are from our place. If you haven't seen the unboxing and review, I will leave that link below. Then you will need a 1 cup measuring cup, and then you will need a couple of measuring spoons. The first one you will need is a tablespoon. The second you will need is 1 teaspoon. And then the third one you will need is a 1/2 teaspoon. So those are the materials you will need. Those are the ingredients you will need. So go ahead and get all that, the ingredients and stuff you need, so we can start making this Belgian waffles, okay? Because I'm going to play this video like we're making it together. So right now I'm measuring 1 cup of chickpea flour. All right, so go ahead and measure your 1 cup of chickpea flour, put it in 1 bowl, and then you can put your flour away. Go ahead and put it away. As we're cooking, we're putting our items away, we're cleaning the kitchen. This is how we cook and clean at the same time. Okay, so now go get your baking powder. It's 1 tablespoon of baking powder. You're gonna add it to the flour, and that's all. We won't need the baking powder anymore, so you can go ahead and store your baking powder. All right, come on back, and now we're gonna add our salt. So the salt is 1/2 teaspoon. Okay, let me show you here in the video. It's 1/2 teaspoon. So add your salt. It doesn't matter what type of salt you use, Himalayan, Celtic, sea salt, any salt you have, but make sure it's a healthy salt. And then you're going to store back. And now we're going to mix the dry ingredients. You want to make sure you mix this very well, because you want the baking powder to mix well with the flour, because if you don't, you might get like a little piece of your waffle that might taste a lot like baking powder, and that's not going to be cool at all. Even though you're going to put the liquid later after we're done here, but you still want to make sure you stir this up. Give it enough stirs to make sure that you mixed all the baking powder very well with the flour. So now we're going to work on our wet ingredient. We're going to put the dry ingredient to the side, and here we're going to start with the vegan milk. So this is homemade vegan milk, natural milk, and you're going to measure out 1 cup of vegan milk. You're going to pour it into your bowl. Then you're going to put the measuring cup in the sink, because we're not going to use that again, and you can store your milk because we don't need any more milk. And now we're going to get into the apple cider vinegar. You want to shake it, because you know how it ferments at the bottom. You want to mix everything together, and then you're going to measure out 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. Okay, 1 tablespoon. And we're gonna add that 1 tablespoon to our vegan milk. Okay, and then here you're gonna add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. You're gonna pour it out, measure it. If you can eyeball it, then eyeball it. I can do it. If you can't do it, that's fine. Use your measuring spoon. And now you're going to add your maple syrup. I will recommend for you to add 4 tablespoons, maybe a little bit more. I'm only adding 2 because have learned to reduce the maple syrup in the ingredients. But this is your first time, add 4 to 5 tablespoons of maple syrup, okay? Then you're just gonna put your measuring spoon in the sink and stir up this wet ingredient for a little bit. And then you're gonna let it sit there for a couple of minutes. This is what some people will call vegan buttermilk, but in my opinion, there's no such thing as vegan buttermilk if you're using real vegan milk, like the one I'm using, because you're gonna see it's not gonna curdle up. And while you're waiting for your vegan buttermilk to do what it's supposed to do, quote unquote, you should be washing the dishes, storing everything else that you're not gonna use, and maintaining your kitchen, cleaning the sink. You know, this is how we keep a pretty and clean kitchen, right? Because if you don't do this in your house, then don't invite me. Fight me. No, don't fight me, because I don't fight. I call the police. But anywho, here we are. The buttermilk, quote unquote, has curdled. No, it didn't. You see, it didn't curdle because it's natural vegan milk. And I just add the wet ingredient into the dry ingredient, and then I make sure to mix this very well. Okay, you want to mix every little bit of flour, every little bit of the dry ingredient into the wet, and then you're gonna let it sit for maybe 3 minutes. But all you have to do is make sure you mix this well, and then turn on your waffle maker, whatever waffle maker you have. It might take like 5 to 6 minutes to heat up, and that's as long as you should let it sit once you mix all these ingredients together. So if you were able to mix all your ingredients together, it should be a little bit watery. But you want to go ahead and grab a spatula like I'm doing here, because sometimes there's flour left over at the very bottom of the mixture. As you see here, as I'm scooping it up, there's some dry parts. So make sure that you mix everything very well. You don't want that in your mix, because once you cook it, you're going to taste it when you're eating it. So don't do that. Make sure everything is mixed very well. And once you have finished mixing it, you want to taste it. Taste your batter, because if it still tastes like a little baking powder, then that means that you didn't mix it well, or that you need to add more maple syrup. Okay, so make sure you taste the batter before you put it into your waffle maker. And here I'm adding my spices. Remember I mentioned that I would add it at the end. I'm adding cinnamon and I'm adding cloves. Sometimes I mix it up depending on the season. If it's pumpkin season, I'll add pumpkin spice. So it all depends on what I'm in the mood for. But I usually will add cinnamon and cloves, or cinnamon and nutmeg and cinnamon, and like I alternate depending on what I feel that day. But I always have my Belgian waffles at least once a week. And here we're done. We're waiting. We're going to let it sit for a few minutes, and then we're going to go and wash the rest of the dishes while we wait for the batter to rise a little bit. We just wanted to sit and make sure that all the ingredients have mixed well. And now we're going to move on to the Belgian waffle maker that I have. I don't know what type of waffle makers you guys have. Hopefully you have this one, but as long as you have a Belgian waffle maker, you're good, because all you have to do, this waffle maker comes with a measuring cup, and it literally is 1 cup. That's a measuring cup. It's 1 cup. So I mix it. You see how the batter is like a little runny but a little thick? That's how you want your batter, okay? You don't want it too thick and you don't want it too runny, because this Belgian waffle maker, if it's too thick, it's not gonna work. I'm gonna have to open it up and lay it down. Like it's just a mess. But this is how I want my batter for this particular waffle maker. And you see, you just dump it on the top, and it's 1 cup of batter, and you're good to go. And you just want to make sure you get every little bit of the batter into the waffle maker. I'm using my spatula here. And to the left, you'll see that I have my Extrema pan there. I'm boiling water for the coffee. And in a few minutes, your Belgian waffle will be ready. It will beep. It literally will beep. And here is your Belgian waffle coming out. So there it is. The Belgian waffles are ready, but they're not completely ready to eat. Why? Because you know why? Because we have to cook the other one, because it makes 2 Belgian waffles. And while we're going to make the other one, these plates allow you to add them into the oven, so they're oven safe, while I make my second waffle, which is great. You see, as you can see there, the recipe makes 2 Belgian waffles exactly. Okay, I'm gonna put that in the sink. And now I've washed my dishes, the kitchen is clean. Now we're ready to assemble our Belgian waffles. So I love to have waffles because this is when I can add my serving of fruits. So if you haven't seen my video on Dr. Michael Greger's book, he talks about the daily dozen, and in the daily dozen you're supposed to have at least 1/2 cup of blueberries and 2 other fruits. And here as you can see, I'm gonna have that. What I'm doing over there to the right is I'm cutting out the excess. So with the Belgian waffles, if it's too much batter, it fluffs up and then it sits out of the Belgian waffle maker. But as you saw, it's very little. So I like to top off my Belgian waffles with bananas, blueberries, and strawberries, as you can see here. And I'm just prepping it for both of us. And I like to take out those extra strings from the bananas. I don't know, maybe I'm the only one, but I don't really like, I don't know why. But that part of the banana just, I don't know, something about it tells me take it out before you eat it. And this is how I prepare it, and I love that I'm eating my fruits. And if you guys haven't seen Dr. Michael Greger's website, his books, I highly recommend if you're trying to live a more healthier diet. And he also has an app, and the app helps you to keep up every day on making sure that you hit your daily dozen, because it just means that you're eating all your greens, all your fruits, all your vitamins that you need for the day. I honestly do not count calories. I do not weigh my food. I just eat. I love to eat, and I'm gonna eat. And I feel like when I have to measure everything is restricting my happiness. And I'm not doing that to myself. I mean, decades ago, people weren't doing all that. They were eating, they were slim, they were having a good old time. So why do I have to do that? And what I'm doing right now is working. I'm losing weight, I'm building muscle, and I'm not measuring and counting calories, none of that. I'm enjoying food, as you can see here. Sorry for venting, not sorry, because it's the truth. Food should be fun. And this is how I prep my Belgian waffles. You can make it look pretty if you want. You don't have to pour the fruits in there like I did. You can like put a blueberry in between the bananas. But honestly, you can use whatever fruits you want to use in this recipe. I particularly love these 3 combinations. It's just something about the banana and the strawberry and the blueberries on my waffles that just take it over the top. Just try it. If you guys haven't ever had a waffle like this with these particular fruits, try it one day and then comment down below and let me know how it went, okay? And here you have it, guys. This is my vegan chickpea Belgian waffle breakfast that I have every week. This is high in protein, potassium, magnesium, antioxidants with the blueberries. There's so many vitamins and nutrients in this dish, and you could have it every week. If I could do it every morning, I would, but I don't have the time. But here it is, guys. I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure you comment down below, because I honestly am gonna, it's the truth. Everyone that I make this for loves it. As you can see right here, my boyfriend is gonna snatch it off the counter before I can even get a good video.
Dang.
Looking about bacon and cheese.
And always remember, sweeties, be real, not perfect. Bye.